Today's video is all about how I do stone lithography at home. Now, because we're talking about stone lithography, you have to start with a stone. It's becoming more common to see people using marble as well these days, but mine are all the more traditional limestone. The first thing you have to do is grain your stone. To do this, you use silicon carbide grits and another stone or a levigator or other tool to grind away at the surface of the stone. Coarser grits will remove the previous image. Gradually using finer grits will polish the stone to a smooth surface. Once the stone is grained and dry, I like to paint my borders with gum arabic. This ensures that the margins of my image will stay clean. Some artists, like myself, like to transfer the outlines of an image to their stone. I scaled down one of my sketches from life drawing and I'm using a printout of that as the design. I use a paper coated with Conte or iron oxide to transfer the outlines of my image. The red color of Conte is easily visible on the surface of the stone, but it does not contain any grease, so it won't become part of the printed image. Once the design has been transferred, it's time to draw on the stone. There are a variety of different drawing materials for stone lithography. I prefer the crayon or pencil type. For this image, I used a combination of hard and soft litho crayons as well as Mitsubishi Dermatograph grease pencil. Drawing can take a long time, or it can be quick. It's really up to you. The next step is to coat the image in talc. I forgo the traditional step of rosin and just use talc. Stone lithography is typically etched with combinations of gum arabic and either nitric acid or phosphoric acid. However, I'm doing a bit of an alternative at-home version where I'm using either cola or lemon juice as my acid. I'm still in the experimental stage of using these acids for stone lithography, so sometimes there are a few surprises. After a day or so of sitting under a gum coating, I remove the image with vegetable oil. Also not the traditional choice and a lot less effective than something like lithotrene or other spirits. I wash the stone, then start alternating with sponge and ink to roll up the image and repeat the etching process again. After another little sit under some gum arabic, the stone is ready to be printed. I'm repeating the process of removing the image with vegetable oil, followed by cleaning the surface of the stone, and then moving on to sponging and inking the image. If you're unfamiliar with lithography and wondering how it works, well, it's based on the properties that oil and water don't want to mix. So the drawn areas have been drawn with grease-based materials, and those were etched onto the stone. The etching process also makes the non-drawn areas become hydrophilic, water-loving. When you pass your damp sponge over the entire surface of the stone, the water will coat all those hydrophilic non-drawn areas and be repelled from the greasy drawing. Then you roll your oil-based ink over while the stone is still wet, and the ink will only stick to where you drew. After you've built up enough ink on the surface, you place a paper over top. Now this is where most people would use a press to apply pressure to transfer the ink to the paper. I don't have a press, so I'm doing it by hand. It requires quite a bit of physical force and is definitely easier to do on a thinner paper like the Gampi I've used here. There you have it. That's the gist of my at-home litho process. Thanks for watching.